want to talk to you today about how the COVID-19 pandemic has affected out-of-custody sexual assault cases in Ontario. First of all, let me define out-of-custody cases. Out-of-custody means you've been arrested, but you receive bail. So you're out in society. You're not sitting in jail waiting for your trial. So basically, I want to talk to you about minor sexual assault cases. First of all, I fully realize, and everyone does it, any sexual assault, no matter how minor, is very serious. But let's talk about a case, for example, a fleeting buttock grab in a bar, or a fleeting type of case where a man, unfortunately and unwantedly, touches a woman's breast, for example. In those type of cases, even on a normal day, you can sometimes avoid a jail term. It's on the cusp as to whether a person's facing a short jail term or not. With the COVID pandemic going on, the court system, as you know, was paused from March till July 6th. By the way, it's only open in a limited way right now. We just have limited trials going on. But there was been a great perception of a cascading delay of cases, this backlog of cases. And due to that, the Crown attorneys are doing a number of things. Number one, they have to come to grips with their cases. If they've got a sexual assault case, they're going to ask themselves, and this is the test in Ontario, is there any reasonable prospect of conviction? In other words, if it's such a weak case that they can't win, why are they running it? That's the normal test, and that's the test that should always be applied, first of all. But politically, if you look at it, sometimes it's difficult for a Crown to pull a case, frankly. I used to be a Crown attorney. I had difficulty doing that for various reasons. Number one, some Crowns are inexperienced, so they can't assess a case properly. Even an experienced Crown might say to himself, rather than face the wrath of a victim who was pushing me to proceed with this case, do I really want to proceed and tie up, court time in limited courts with a case I know I'm going to lose? That's going to be a conversation that Crowns have across the province, and that is happening right now, frankly, with all criminal cases. They have to do this. And it's quite proper. If there's no way of winning a case, why are we running it? So that's one point. The other point, so let's take that minor case that I talked about. So that's a case where a Crown attorney might say to himself, well, look, I'm going to ask for a short jail term, or I'm going to ask for no jail term, a fine, probation, maybe even a conditional discharge in the right case. What I have found is for our minor cases this summer, sexual assault cases, we were getting reasonable resolutions. The Crowns knew they had to move those cases. They said to themselves, God, we have no idea when this trial is going to take place. This could result in other cases, more serious, getting thrown out. So there were good deals to be had on minor cases, and there are. So it's a good time to hire a lawyer right now. For more serious sexual assault cases beyond that, there's not a lot of room for the Crown to maneuver. They're not going to be offering deals on rape cases where a person, date rape, the range in Ontario is 2 to 3 years in jail. They're not going to be offering deals on that. They are going to be assessing the cases, though there's no question if there's no reasonable prospect. And I say no reasonable prospect of conviction. That's the test. Okay, they have to come to grips with that. But there is still, obviously, there's a great benefit on any sexual assault case. If you want to defend it, you need to hire a lawyer. And the other thing is, our court system was paused, but for those people who hired a lawyer this summer on a sexual assault cases, and we had many clients like that, we were able to move their file. It takes weeks to get a case ready to set for trial. So if you sat in your hands and you didn't hire a lawyer, well, now you're hiring a lawyer. It's going to take 14, 16, 18, 20 weeks before that lawyer's ready to set a trial date. So that delay, if I might put it that way, is kind of on you. If delay emerges in the system, and it may or may not, there's a perception it will, it might not, we don't know, it's early days right now, you'll be in a better position to argue delay if you're able to go to the court and says, look, I moved this file, my lawyer did, I'm ready to set a trial date, I want the earliest trial date possible, and they say to you, for example, in August, we can't offer you a trial date for over 18 months. Well, guess what? You could potentially win the case for delay. So there's all sorts of reasons to hire a lawyer, to defend your case, to get a great deal, to take advantage of delay if it emerges. And that's what's basically been going on with our clients in the court system. The message I want to leave you with is don't delay, hire a lawyer now. There's never been a better time to hire a lawyer for any type of criminal case, including sexual assault cases in Ontario.